Hey RPM family, this is Don and I've got Junior with me. One of the largest questions we get online with our double triangulation systems is how do I set my bracketry up on my rear axle? There's a little bit of measuring and some things that you've got to do to set that up. We do have a PDF on the website under the instructions tab, but a lot of guys are more visual, so we wanted to kind of shoot this video to give you an idea what we do to set one up. It'll give you a little bit of an easier time when you do it. First thing we did is we set our pinion at 5 degrees. We had to use a little bolt because our jack stand didn't come up and set right at 5. So we just kind of put a washer and a bolt down here that's going to lift this up. We basically took our angle finder to a flat spot, got 5 degrees of angle pinion up. So that's set in place. That's how we start. The second thing we do is we take our truss we're using. Most trusses are just going to key into the axle, so you're not going to have a lot of rock back and forth with them. They're only going to sit one way. So you're going to kind of set your truss up first. You can tack it in place. We never recommend fully welding any of this until you've cycled your suspension, you've checked everything 3 ways to Sunday before you start welding. So Junior and I are going to show you how we do this setup. So we start, and we're using the outside of the rotors on this axle as our set points right here. And we're going to set our center line of our axle here, which we've already done beforehand. And we're at about, on this particular axle, it was at 32 1/8 to find the center line. And so we've already marked our axle for center line here. So we mark it with a paint pen, set your center line of your axle. That's where you're going to base all your bracketry off of, is that center line. So what we did then is our brackets in our PDF will show you that center line of this bracket right here on the center line to center line is 47.5. Now that doesn't change based on your axle. We're actually using a Rubicon axle from a JT that's going to go underneath this 2-door JK. And so we're going to hit a 47 center to center here. Again, we're using this center line of the axle. We subtracted and halved it essentially to bring out 23 3/4. And we marked our axle at 23 3/4, so we have a center line to put this up to. And then so that gives us our center to center on these brackets. Now this bracket is ready in play, ready to go in. Now we want this set to 0 because we've got our 5 degrees already put into our diff. And now we're going to set this to 0, mark the back. That's going to be your line and your center line to tack this part in when you're ready to go. That'll give us our 47.5 center line to center line of our joints. The last thing we're going to do is set up our top on the axle. Now we've again marked this ahead. Essentially what you want to do is find your imaginary center line of your tube and your housing and mark that across your top. We've marked the spot where that imaginary center line is, and we still have our center line marking from the original marking we set. So we're going to take our topper, and the bend that's in the topper is actually your dead center of the link mount system. You're going to set that right on that line. And then the last thing you're going to do while that line is set is you come in and you measure your distance front to back. Make sure that all your distancing and it's square with the vehicle so that you're ready to tack this in. This one actually sits just about at the edge of the rear of this particular truss. This is one of our trusses that we've done for the JT and JL axles. We use a 1/4 inch top plate, 1/4 inch side plates on our trusses. And we do these just for specific axles. We're trying to get more of the axles done so that you have an option to use us for your triangulated systems. We've got Dave who's going to come in here. He's going to tack this thing up. You get to watch him do his thing, and I'll be right back. All right, coming back to this now, Dave has tacked this stuff up. We did it just kind of fast for the video here. What we would suggest at home or in a shop environment is to put little stitch tacks bottom and top kind of everywhere so that this stuff isn't going to move on you. We like to cycle the suspension and make sure everything is dialed in. We know everything goes where it goes on our setup, but if this is your first time doing it, put some good solid tacks on it so that you don't have everything burned in and find out you made a small measurement mistake. So the other thing is, before you weld, triple measure everything one more time with your tape measure, just to make sure you've put it where it goes. Make sure your pinion didn't move, your whatever spacers you put there didn't move, that kind of thing. That way you're set up. This is how you burn in our rear triangulated 4-link. It doesn't matter what width axle you're using, those numbers are going to be the same. So that 47.5 center to center here is always going to be the same, and you're always basing that off of your center line of your axle. So this is actually the dead center of this axle, wheel hub to wheel hub. So this is going to get welded up, and we're going to have this go under this two-door. There'll be a lot more videos coming. We will see you out on the trail.